Yes. Wait lang. Sige, go. Just opening my files.
So, so let us continue where we left off with cryptography. So, as a recap, Caesar cryptography is a cryptography technique where each letter in a message is shifted by a fixed amount of according to the alphabet to yield the encrypted version of that letter. And in Caesar cryptography, an encryption would entail a right shift, while decryption would entail a left shift. So
Mm.
you only need to shift right and left by the key that is the shift amount, whether whether or not it's an encryption or a decryption. So with that said, let's just let's just move on with a simple exercise of Caesar encryption. So let's just say our key here is a 10, a shift of 10. So we want to encrypt the message that is heart. So using Caesar encryption with a shift of 10, what would the encrypted message be? You can type in the, you can type in, you can answer. Uh, can, does anyone know?
Perhaps you can go back to your previous so that it will be easier for them rather than them constructing. Can go back to the previous?
Uh,
Ah, this is a shift 12.
yeah, shift 12.
This is a shift 12.
Yeah, this is a decryption one.
Okay. What is the original message?
Original message for this one is
No, no.
uh,
In your example, did you give
oh,
what is the original message and what is the descriptive? What is the decrypted message?
uh,
In your example, did you
oh,
give an example?
here, yeah, example here, our the original message here is cryptography, ma'am.
Cryptography, and this is shift 12.
Yes.
And what was the answer?
For this, it's
Can you just give
this is, this is the
kagulo?
encrypted. Yeah, this is the encrypted
Okay,
version.
so that's shift 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Shift.
Stop there. You could have given something and then stop there. Everyone, heart shift 10. Pila. There. I see it. Ryan has an answer.
Okay.
The others?
Oh, this is for the heart one.
Your exercise was hard. I just want them to see something. Your exercise was hard, yeah? Right?
Yes. Yes. It's heart. So ROKB. So this is shift 10, not shift 12. It's shift 10 to the right. It's not ROKB. It's different.
Shift 10, not shift 12.
Yeah.
Ano pa rin mo answer? Shift 12, shift 10. Shift 12 to ako ipakita. Ay, akong ipaano niya.
So if like for our message heart
It
here,
will
a shift 10
be
here be would be this. So the shift 10 the Caesar encryption of heart would be MJFMWY.
HK. H, what's next is HIJKLMNOPQ. Siya. By just looking at it, di na siya shift 10 kay H. So HIJKLMNOPQR. Dapat R. Shift 10 man kaya.
Shift. Wait,
So
hold
the
on.
letter H will be R.
Wait.
Doon na kayo ang M sa A.
Oh, I think this is shift five. Oh my gosh, wrong. This should be a
Sige.
shift five. This should, yeah. This is a shift five version of
Okay na lang.
the,
Just
yeah,
change your answer.
yeah,
Sige.
yeah. So shift ten would be ROKBY, while a shift five here would be MJFYW. So sorry
Okay.
about that.
Sige.
So okay, so decryption. Like instead of shift five here, let's just have a shift 10. So our encrypted message here is TUIBSW. So decryption. So in decryption, you should be doing a shift left. So with the message here, the encrypted message here, and with a shift 10, what would be the original message? Anyone?
Ay, wait lang.
Okay. It's a shift 10, not a shift 5.
Ha? Shift 10, shift 5.
No, shift 10, yeah, shift 10, shift. No, it's a shift 10. Like, it's a typo. It's typo. It's a mix up with the encryption part. Uh, so,
So this is a shift 10.
yeah, shift 10. Yeah, yeah, I forgot change. Like shift 10. A shift 10 of this encrypted message. So it's a left shift.
There's an answer there. Wait
Oh,
for another answer.
so, oh, yes. So shift 10. So shift 10 of this message would would result with the encrypted message of Skyrim. So Caesar is rather simple. You just need
Kaya
to,
nga, it's
yeah,
so elementary that
yes,
even a grade 1 student would be able, no, not to man grade 1. Teka,
yes.
when are you taught us? Okay, sige.
Okay, so
So continue please para we
I
go to
would like,
the,
yeah, I would hand
mm,
over to Jomer to explain the next technique of encryption. Oh my gosh.
Mm. So, hello everyone. Can you see the slide and can you hear me?
yeah, Jomar. Loud and clear. And thanks
So,
for opening your camera.
for our next cipher is transposition cipher.
Oh,
So, transposition cipher is a method of encryption which scrambles the position of the characters without changing the characters themselves with the use of transposition. So,
Mm.
transposition cipher reorder the units of plain text according to a regular system to produce a ciphertext, which is a permutation of the plain text. So this is different from Caesar or RSA, which changes the characters to another character. So this cipher just changes the location of the characters to a different location. So it's just jumbles the word. So the first recorded instance of transposition cipher is with the Spartan Citale or Citali. So there are different pronunciations of this word. So an example of Spartan Citale is this. So when we put the paper or leather in the Citale, we can see the message. But if we take it off the Citale, we have a jumbled letters. So that is an example of the transposition cipher. So how does it work? So and our encryption decryption have 6 steps. So let's go through them. For the first 3 steps, the encryption and decryption is the same. So the first step is get the message and keyword. Step two is get the length of the message and keyword. Step three is get the row and column lengths. Step four is where they differ. So in here is just the same step, but we would see it in the example and the next example in the simulation. Why does step four in encryption and decryption is different? And step five is for encryption is rearrange the columns according to alphabetical order of the keyword, and in decryption is rearrange the columns according to the keyword. And step six for encryption is output each column of the matrix, and decryption is output each row of the matrix.
Mhm.
So for the simulation, step one is get the message and keyword. So we have a message and a keyword. Yeah, our message is cryptography and our keyword is cats. Get the length of the message and keyword. So it's just simple. 12 for cryptography and cats is 4. So step 3 is get the row and column lengths. So it's just simple. So I have a question. What if our message length is not divisible by key length? What would we do? So I have so any answers? Yes, you're correct, Wayne. So you can increase the message length or add the add sentinel values or spaces to the original message to increase its length. So next, step 4, create a matrix and insert the message in the matrix. So in encryption, we insert the message through row major order. So input message as so we have a message cryptography and we insert it each through a row major order. And this arrangement of the message is according to the keyword cats. Next, step 5. Rearrange the columns according to alphabetical order of the keyword. So remember that this order is in the order of the keyword cats. So rearrange each column according to the alphabetical order of the keyword. So let's start with A, so ROP. Next is C, CPA. Next is S, TRY. And next is T, YGH. The last step of the encryption is output each column of the matrix. So first is ROP, next is CPA, next is TRY, and next is YGH. So that is for the encryption of transposition cipher. So next is our decryption. So step 1 is get the message and the keyword. So the same. So this is our encrypted message. Next is the length of the message and keyword, just the same as the previous example. Step 3 also is get the row and column length is just the same. So next, in the difference of step 4 of encryption and decryption is that we know that in encryption we insert the message through row major order. In here, we insert the message through a column major order. So first is ROP, CTA, PRY, and then YGH. So we know that this order is according to the alphabetical order of the keyword. So this is the alphabetical order of the keyword. So next is step 5. Rearrange the columns according to the keyword. So here is the alphabetical order of the keyword, and our keyword is cats. So we first add C, A, T, and S. Next is step 6. Output each row of the matrix. So we already have our rearranged matrix. So our decrypted message is the first row, crypt, and TOGR and APHY, forming the message cryptography. So that is it for the simulation of encryption and decryption. So I have a simple exercise for you. So I message. Here's the message, and we have a keyword of mouse. So what would be the original message? You can
Give them time. Can you like list it was a bit fast? Can you like give the steps and then para they can follow?
okay. So
Steps lang. Katong imong gilista na steps.
oh yes, yes. Oh,
May answer.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Kato lang ang steps. Kana lang. Sige. Kaya?
So you can just screenshot the decryption part because
Yeah. Sige.
yeah. Um. So done with the screenshot. So I'll go to the question. So what would be the original message of the encrypted message? So any more answers? So we have an answer. So your answer is correct. It's algorithms and complexity. So that is it for transposition cipher, and we go to our next cipher, which is presented by Raymond.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, everyone. My name is Raymond, and I'll be talking about our last cipher, which is the RSA cipher. The RSA algorithm. So the RSA algorithm utilizes asymmetric encryption, which requires two keys, a public key and a private key. And the RSA comes from the first letters of the surname who describe the algorithm, which is Rivest, Shamir, and Adelman. So this is how the algorithm works. First, we need to create our encryption key and decryption key in 5 steps. Step number one is to get two prime numbers. Step two is to get the product of those two prime numbers, which we will call n. Step three is to find the totient. What the totient is, I'll describe it later in further slides. After we get the totient of n, we go to step four, which is where we select a number for our encryption key. And lastly, for step five, after getting the encryption key, we get the decryption key. So now let's proceed to step one, choosing our prime numbers here. So if we go back to like basic math, a prime number is a number that is not divisible by any number except for one and the number itself. So here from this big list, we'll choose two prime numbers, which would be 5 and our q, 11. So this will be our two primes, 5 and 11. We then get the product of these two prime numbers. So it'll just be 5 times 11, which would be 55. 55. So once we have step two, once we're done with step two, we move to step three, which is getting the quotient, a totient in it. But there are two versions of this, of getting the totient. The version one will be the long one, and the version two will be the simplified one. So let's start with the first one, the version one. So this is our totient. This symbol is called the phi. So we get the phi of n. So going back, our n is 55. So what would be the result? What is the phi of n? So first we count all the numbers from 1 to n. Here, our n is 55. So that means that we have to count all the numbers from 1 to 55 listed here. Afterwards, we will remove the numbers that have a common factor with our two primes. Again, our two primes are 11 and 5. So here, these are the common factors of 11 and 5 within the list of 55. So once we remove them, we count how many numbers are remaining. So I'll just count here. So let's start with these rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Then let's count this one: 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. So therefore, our totient is 40. Now, this is the long version. This is very long to do it manually, especially if our n is higher. We can get our totient in an instant in the second version provided by Sir Godwin. So instead of using the phi of n, we instead of using this formula, the phi of n, we use this formula. Our first prime minus 1 times the second prime minus 1. So our p and q, again, it's 5 and 11. So 5 minus 1 times 11 minus 1. So that will be 4 times 10. We multiply these and we get the same result of 40. So now we have our totient, which is 40. We move on to step 4, which is getting our encryption key. And also, just like in this step, there are two versions, the very long one and the one provided by Sir. So we shall go with the first one. Our encryption key, also known as the E key. So here are the rules in getting our encryption key. First, our E key should be greater than 1, but less than our totient. So going back, our totient is 40. Our second rule is that it should be a coprime with n and our totient. So going back, our n is 55 and our totient is 40. So first, you have to list down the numbers that satisfy. Oh yes, yes, madam.
What do you mean by coprime?
Group primes are the prime numbers that are with our prime. So let's say our prime is 11. That means our co-primes are 1, 3, 5, 7. Yeah,
No,
those
but
numbers.
again, wait. Coprime with N. N a while ago was 55, right?
Yes.
55, here pala, 55 and then totient. So what are the coprimes here? Should be coprime. What is that? Choose a key that should be coprime. So how do we find the coprime of 55 and 40?
I will I will discuss it in the next slide. So I will illustrate it here. So first, we list down all the numbers that satisfy the first condition, which should be greater than 1 but less than our totient, which is 40.
So that should be 1 to 39.
Yeah, no, 2 to 39 because it should be
2 to
less.
39.
Yes.
Okay. Sige.
So these are the
So,
numbers.
okay. And
And
then,
then we add our second condition, which is a factor of 40 and 55. So these are the respective numbers that are factors of 40 and 55, which is our P and Q also, which is 5 and
huh.
oh,
Are these common factors of
these are,
40 and 45?
yes, but
Because you said factors of 40 and so common factors of 40 and 45.
55.
Uh, how about 11?
Oh,
Is 11 a call
it's not a
factor of
factor
40?
of it's not a common factor of 40, but it's still a common factor of 55. But what I meant
Uh,
was like it shouldn't be like both 40 and 55, but I placed it in same list.
what is this now? Factors of 40 and 55.
Fact,
So you
yes,
are putting together into the set the factors of the union of the factors of 40 and 45. 55.
yes, Miss Kerr.
Okay, so that's better. Rather than, I did, sige, anyway.
Okay. So once we get these factors, we have to eliminate the other numbers that share a common factor in the list, and this will be our result, which are the co-primes. So here, since this is our last list, we are free to select any number to be our encryption key from 3, 7, 9, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, and 37. For this presentation, our encryption key would be 7. That's parang
So you are kind of just removing, what are this? These are the prime factors from 1 to 4, from 2 to 40. You're listing the prime factors from 2 to 40 that are not found in the cofactors or the factors of 40 and 55. Is that correct? So 5
yes,
is removed, 11 is removed, and that's it. Only 5 and 11 are removed.